Whether you're live streaming or pre-recording, you'll still have to set up cameras to get the video content into your streaming hardware or into your computer for editing. Here are some tips, tricks, hints, and procedures that we at DisciplesNet have discovered along the way.
In bringing DisciplesNet worship services and other resources to you, we've made many discoveries along the way. Whether it's specific types of technology or procedures to use for good results, we're sharing them with you here. Welcome to Discoveries Along the Way.
We'll talk in more detail about specific video equipment in a future video. For now, let's talk about three main categories. You can shoot video with smartphones and tablets. You can use video cameras. And you can use a webcam or a similar device hooked directly to a computer, which will do the recording or transmitting. Let's take those one at a time. If you're shooting with a smartphone or tablet, you need to know that they're capable of shooting in both landscape and portrait mode. Because the content is going to video or streaming, you'll want to keep it in landscape mode. If you don't, you'll get these ugly, wide black bars on the side. The only exception to this rule is if you're shooting content that will be placed alongside text or pictures. Then you can use portrait mode. I find it easier to just shoot everything in landscape mode, which means you'll have to use the phone or tablet on its side, like this. The second thing about shooting video with a phone or tablet is that the microphones on these devices are merely okay. You'll probably want to use an external microphone to pick up the sound better and in higher quality. You can use a separate sound recorder, like this, or you can use a wireless or wired microphone, like these. Some phones and tablets no longer even have a microphone or headphone jack. If yours is like that, you'll need an adapter that allows you to plug in a microphone. If you're shooting in a location that has a soundboard, there's almost always a way to plug the output of that soundboard directly into a microphone jack. That will allow you to get sound from many microphones at the same time. We'll discuss sound equipment like that in another video. If you're shooting with a video camera, these usually have better microphones. However, you may still want to use an external microphone to limit picking up background noise. You'll also need a capture card or the equivalent to get that content into your streaming hardware. If you're pre-recording, you can just copy the content files directly off the video camera, or after shooting, connect the storage cards from the cameras to your computer. Most video cameras have options to use both optical and digital zoom. We recommend turning off digital zoom entirely. While optical zoom uses lenses to bring the content closer, digital zoom simply sizes up each picture element, and that will result in a fuzzy or poorly defined image. While we're talking about image size, if you're recording, it doesn't hurt to record one size up from the resolution that you're using. That allows you to pan and zoom in editing without losing resolution. If you're live streaming, however, you'll want to shoot in the same resolution as you put out. That will save on having your streaming hardware have to resize the resolution before it sends it out. The less you tax that hardware, the better your stream quality will be. Now, finally, you can shoot video from a web camera. Keep in mind, these cameras do fairly well for low-resolution video, but most can't handle the resolution of a good video camera or even a smartphone or tablet camera. For this reason, we don't recommend using a web camera as your primary camera. Web cameras do have one advantage. The video is already being put into a computer that can be used as a streaming device or used to record it for later use. Whatever kind of camera you use, you'll also need a good, steady place to mount it. Shaky cam is all the rage in movies these days, but it's not a way to shoot a worship service. We'd suggest investing in a tripod, and in the case of smartphones and tablets, a holder that will mount on the tripod. Finally, let's talk resolution. Resolution capabilities have climbed in the last few years from a standard definition of 1280 by 720 to 1920 by 1080, and now to 4K, which is 3840 by 2160. Those numbers are the numbers of individual picture elements or dots, horizontal and vertical, which make up an image. Most of our DisciplesNet video is actually set one level below standard definition at 960 by 540. That was a deliberate choice because people are watching DisciplesNet from all over the world and often without very high-speed internet. We use a relatively small image to allow them to view without a lot of pauses and stops. The larger the image, the more time it takes to send it across. We actually don't recommend going above 1920 by 1080. You may even find that 1280 by 720 standard definition works just fine. Higher definitions are great for seeing all the details of modern movies, but they don't really provide anything special for people watching a worship service. Folks really only need to be able to see the people on the screen and be able to read the words to the songs. So experiment around a little with definition, and you'll find the resolution that works for you. That's it for now. Keep watching this channel for more DisciplesNet discoveries along the way.